Our representatives from Washington, as you know, it's been a busy time there, and they are unable to be with us today, but they did send their representative, their personal representative, to be with us. And I'd like to call on Mr. John Mitchell that will continue in the recognition of these family members. By the way, John represents Senator Richard Burr.
Thank you. It's my distinct honor to be here today among such fine folks. It's been my privilege and pleasure over the last years to work with the local Vietnam Veterans chapter. The Senator wishes he could be here today, but he did want me to come and bring his greetings and also bring this letter on his behalf. Dear friends, I wish I could be with you today to recognize all of the Vietnam veterans in the crowd and to celebrate Vietnam Veterans Day. During the conflict in Vietnam, our nation lost over 58,000 servicemen and women in a war that lasted for almost a decade. Those who returned home came back to a nation that in many ways turned a blind eye to its soldiers, sailors, airmen, Coast Guardsmen, and Marines. While we can never fully repay you for your sacrifice on behalf of our nation, it is important that we remember and honor the sacrifices you made and help those veterans who have fallen through the cracks. It is deplorable that some of our Vietnam veterans are homeless and many more live in extreme poverty. As ranking member of the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee, I have made this issue a top priority. That is why I introduced the Services to Prevent Veterans Homelessness Act, legislation that provides assistance for a variety of supportive services for low-income veterans and their families. I'm proud that this bill was signed into law this last year, and you can be sure that I will fight to make sure these important services are funded. Much time has passed since the end of the war in Vietnam. While physical wounds may have healed, the memories of that war are a constant reminder that we can never break faith with those who fought and those who still fight for our freedoms. With our nation at war for some 7 years now, Vietnam vets have stood up and offered to help this new generation of returning servicemen and women. Your generation has given your time, energy, and resources to help the veterans in Iraq and Afghanistan recover from their wounds and return to productive lives. Welcome home. Vietnam Veterans Day is an appropriate way to honor you, your service, and your sacrifice. Thank you for your service. Sincerely, Senator Richard Burr. I've also been asked to read the names of the fallen servicemen from Swain County. Curtis Breedlove, John Burgess, Wayne Jenkins, James E. Lakey, John Edward Akuma, Douglas R. Sutton, James W. Tuck. Thank you.